Broadcasting live from the multiverse, it's Tap Tap Concede.
Yay. Better scoop it up.
Hey everyone. So Graham and James are away right now as we are recording this. They're actually at the Community Cup doing commentary on the various silliness and matches that are ensuing. So they're not here this week, but instead you have me, Kathleen, and
me, Cameron.
And me, Alex.
And Paul, of course, on the computer weighing in occasionally. So because the full cons of Tarkir was just spoiled, we are going to talk about our picks for cons this week.
But first,
or not necessarily our picks, just cards that we think are
cards
interesting.
that we're stoked about.
The cards that we have items to discuss about.
Yeah,
we'll say that. We'll get to the reason I'm hedging my language a little bit later. But first, let's do a crack a pack.
All right, rolling the big green die.
Give you some space.
18. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Cold snap.
Woo!
Oh, snap.
So what are we looking for?
This is a weird set. Counterbalance.
Right.
Ooh. Seems good. Seems decent.
All right.
Counterbalance, and yeah, I don't know what else is.
Braid of Fire?
Braid of Fire is okay. There's a couple of like decent sort of commons and uncommons from this set.
Okay. Well, let's see what we got.
Well, for those of you who like hearing packs open, I'm going to get the pack right up on the microphone for this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some frost just came out of it.
All right. Is there flavor text on the back of this pack?
Maybe.
Ooh, let's see.
All right.
It's crumpled. All right.
Is there?
Nope.
Oh. All right. Well, our first card is Gelid Shackles. It is a snow enchantment aura for 1 and a white.
So
for 1 white.
It has the snow subtype.
Yeah. So that's
relevant in this block.
Very relevant. Enchant creature. Enchant creature can't block, and its activated abilities can't be played.
It can still attack.
Can pay a snow mana to say enchanted creature gains defender until end of turn.
Okay, so you can make it so it can't block.
Or can't attack.
Sorry, can't attack.
And it can't block.
And snow mana can be paid with like any color mana from any land that has a
snow permanent.
Snow
so
type.
you don't need like white snow mana to pay this. If you had like a red snow-covered land, you could pay that.
It's also mana produced by snow creatures.
Yes.
Right.
So like Boreal Druid can activate this.
This seems fine.
Yeah, this seems totally fine.
Because I mean,
pacifism effects are
activated abilities
better than,
is useful.
No, this seems fine.
Slam
All
it.
right. Next, Frost Raptor. Now, Frost Raptor is a 2/2 flyer for 2 and a blue, so it's a
Cloud Drake?
A Cloud Drake, it's one of the Drakes. A Wind Drake? Yeah, Wind Drake. Now, and it has an additional upside for 2 snow mana. Frost Raptor can't be the target of spells or abilities this turn, so you can give it
Shroud before templating.
Yeah.
This seems quite good.
Yeah.
That seems,
I mean, you keep 2 up, and it's just like, haha, your tiny suite of removals useless.
But hold on. Frost Raptor can't be the target of spells or abilities this turn. What if somebody wants to pump up their Frost Raptor, like they want to throw some sort of like enchantment on it to make it? Could you, the opponent, pay that 2 mana?
No, only controllers can pay activated abilities unless it stipulates otherwise.
Yeah, there's a couple of cards that do that, and I think there's some in this set that allow your opponent to activate abilities.
Yeah.
Paul?
Well, I was just wanting to note that it gains Shroud, which it's been oracled to Shroud.
Okay.
Until end of turn. So if you did want to stop somebody from doing tricks on you, you could cast something in the Frost Raptor, forcing them to make it Shroud, and then it's stuck as being Shroud till the end of turn, right? So then they can't cast anything on their own Frost Raptor either. That would be very poor card economy, but maybe you got to do it.
Oh, that looks like it's a snow-covered forest.
Basic snow land.
So actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. This is a source of snow mana, as like these first 2 cards are hungry for.
Yeah, it's got a pretty high gatherer rating. It's like 4.5. I mean, you need it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the regular mana snow covered in this set too?
Nope. Only mana from anything with the snow type.
Oh.
And also, snow basics are exactly the same as regular basics. They still have the basic land type.
Except for the purpose of things like Tainted Pact.
Yeah.
Interesting. So maybe this is actually a higher pick than you think. Anyhow, moving on. Chilling Shade.
Brr.
It's a 1/1 for 2 and a black. So it doesn't exactly pass the vanilla test there, but it does have flying.
All right. Keep
And
going.
for a single snow mana, Chilling Shade gets +1/+1 until end of turn.
So this is kind of like, Nantuko Shade or any of the other shades, right?
Yep.
Where you just pump it up, but this one is a lot cheaper to activate.
Yeah, that's usually you're paying at least 2 for a shade ability, and they've gotten more expensive. And I just want to point out that I keep looking at the flavor text, and they keep mentioning Rime Wind, but I keep thinking it says Rinse Wind. So that's on me. Anyhow, moving on.
Turning.
Goblin Furrier.
It's
Furrier than what?
all right. It's a 2/2 for 1 on a red. Good. And it's prevent all damage that Goblin Furrier would deal to snow creatures.
That's a downside.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bear, but it's a slightly bad bear.
I don't know if considering the first.
Two creatures we pulled out of this pack are snow creatures.
I think that's a pretty significant downside. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
this pack is like heavily weighted.
One
But
in a red is, it's just too good for
bad
a bear.
bears.
Yeah, I feel that bad bears are bad.
Yeah.
Oh, look, another creature that I can't interact
our
with.
next creature is Boreal Griffin, which is a 3/2 for 5. That's 3 and 2 white, so that's pretty expensive. But we've seen 5-drop 3/2s in many formats. Flying, obviously. And for 1 snow mana, it can gain first strike until end of turn. It still seems a little
Can I just say
expensive.
these shackles are starting to look kind of hot in this pack?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
shackles
There's
are
like
still
3
good.
activated abilities we've gone past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, Thermal Flux.
Ooh, it's an instant for 1 blue. Choose one. Ooh, this sounds pretty good. Target non-snow permanent becomes snow until end of turn. If you really need snow mana, I guess. Or target snow permanent isn't snow until end of turn. Fuck your activated ability. You can't pay for it.
So they attack with this Furrier. You block with your non-snow creature and are like, fooled you.
Yeah.
It seems a little niche
Yeah,
and
no,
not
that's-
very good.
It's
but
cute.
draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. It does replace
Slow
itself.
cantrip.
Slow cantrip.
Still a cantrip.
Yep, still a
I
cantrip.
don't know how good that is, though.
Snore cantrip.
I don't think it does enough. I
Nope.
mean, it replaces itself.
Seems
but,
bad.
meh. It's not worth a card, I don't think. Sun's Bounty.
Oh man, life gain's so good.
Okay, now it's an instant for 1 and a white. You gain 4 life. But it also has Recover for 1 and a white. So when a creature card is put into your graveyard from play, you may pay 1 and a white. And if you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Otherwise, remove this card from the game.
So
Otherwise, exile this card.
When a creature dies, all your recover cards go away unless you pay for them.
This card sucks.
I mean, it's like recover's like a goofy regrow
Yeah.
mechanic that is just like it also seems really hard to keep track of.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like, oh right, I forgot to
Why do
exile.
I want to
all
pay
these,
2 mana to have this back again?
I don't know,
Ah.
Yeah.
gain life.
I can gain 7 life for like 2 mana, though, in other sets.
And it's still not good even then.
I didn't play it then.
Yarp.
So this is basically you pay 4 mana, and you have recurring gain 4 life, right?
Yeah. Doesn't seem good. Also, it can probably lose you the game at the right rules enforcement level
Yeah.
if you forget about it in your graveyard.
Yeah.
But I think like you have to do it. Oh right, yeah.
I say we talk about this in the sort of the standard of we're playing with the don't be an asshole rules, as in
Right.
like, casual rules.
My favorite Ariel is don't be a donkey.
But still, I don't know how
Yeah.
good this is.
No.
All
What's
right.
that?
Hey,
More activated abilities.
and another snow creature. God, that Furrier just gets worse and worse the
And
deeper we
this
go.
Shackles gets better and better.
Yeah, Thermopod is a 4/3 for 5. That's 4 and a red. Dece. Now, for 1 snow, Thermopod gains haste until end of turn. Now, is it the term snow mana? Like
No. Manic produced by any snow permanent. So
Yeah.
like I said, there's Boreal Druid
But
in
can I
here.
just say like snow mana, and I'm not saying the wrong thing for
Yeah,
talking about
no.
these activated
Yeah.
abilities. All right, and now, so you can pay 1 snow produced mana source to give it haste. Good, and sacrifice a creature. This is just a static ability. Add 1 red to your mana pool.
Huh.
Maybe there is a use
Interesting.
for that Goblin
Weird.
Furrier.
It's like fight sack your team, some sort of fire spell,
Yeah.
win the game.
That seems fine. Sack everything that dies in combat.
I would like to
And then
play
you
with
can
that card.
recover
I don't know if it's good, but I'm kind of intrigued.
Dude,
by
this
it.
makes your recover card so hot.
No.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
Blech.
Ugh.
Simian Brawler. Hey, a non-snow creature. It's a 3/3 for 4.
Ape Warrior.
3/3 for 4s, always solid. But discard a land card, he gets +1/+1 until end of turn.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
all right.
I mean, when are you discarding land cards?
I don't know.
Like
later.
real late in the game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he stays relevant. Threat of activation. Your opponent doesn't know when you've got land in hand.
That's
right?
Or
true.
how many?
I don't know. Like, I feel that maybe he could get up to a 4/4.
This
I'd be
is- yeah.
rare to see him be a 5/5.
For the people who flood out continually, such as myself, maybe this guy's kind of sweet.
Because you can
Oh.
pitch as many lands as you want.
Oh, we got a good card.
This is a chase one.
Yep, this is
so good. It's banned in Modern.
Is it really?
cards that are banned in Modern. Rite of Flame.
Woo! All right, so Rite of Flame, for those of you who are not familiar with it, is a sorcery for 1 red mana. It is add red to your mana pool, then add red to your mana pool for each card named Rite of Flame in each graveyard.
So the first one is 3.
Yep, and then the first one is 2, and then the second one is 3, and then the third one
Well,
is
doesn't this
4.
go to your graveyard first?
What?
No.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count itself.
No.
No.
Because it resolves and then it goes to the graveyard.
Yeah,
So it
Right.
checks against
but this goes right into the Modern Storm deck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
or
is...
it did.
Well, I did, and then they're just like, hell no.
So, Alex, why is this so easily abused?
Fast mana is always dirt
All right.
in Storm. It's
There
like
we go.
any way that you can get around the like 1 land a turn rule is generally kind of a little bit busted by its very nature. It's like anytime you're paying less than what you're getting out of it, no matter what the drawback is, it's usually pretty good.
There's actually no drawback here. It just keeps getting better. So, yeah, Rite of Flame.
Oh,
Very
sweet.
strong.
We're actually getting some decent... These are the cards that I was thinking about.
We're into the uncommons. Now we have a Cold Steel Heart.
I
which
like
is-
this card.
That's an artifact for 2, and it comes into play tapped. As Cold Steel Heart comes into play, choose a color. And then tap it to add 1 mana of the chosen color to your mana pool. That seems really solid.
It's a very flexible rock, and I just noticed that it has the snow type.
I'm totally fine with this card.
No, it's actually real good. It gets
Yeah.
played in Highlander.
Yeah.
I would play that card.
Basically, and it gets played in Highlander because you can name
Yeah.
any color.
Yeah, whatever you're off.
The 2 mana rocks that make a color are pretty good, and then the like 3 mana rocks that make like 2 or more are also pretty good. You generally want to stick with the 2 mana rocks because they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does come into play tapped, so you can't
Rocks
use
and
it the
rocks
turn
and
it comes
rocks.
out, but it's still pretty decent.
Yeah, it's fine.
Next, we have
Ooh,
Jotun Owl Keeper. Now, this is a giant. Oh, it's a 3/3 for 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's got to be a drawback.
Yeah.
And it, in fact, has a drawback. Cumulative upkeep of white or blue. So that's not bad. So what is
this was
cumulative
a
upkeep?
cumulative upkeep block or
Yeah.
set rather, where
Oh, go ahead.
every upkeep you put a time counter on it, and then you have to pay the upkeep cost for every time counter. So it just like gets harder and harder to pay for. But
But when Jotun Owlkeeper is put into the graveyard from play, put a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying it into play for each age counter on it.
so you at least get something out of it when it expires.
Yeah.
So if you can manage to you probably keep this alive for maybe 2 to 3 turns.
Yeah,
And then
until
it
a 3/3 body stops
Bursts
being
into
relevant.
birds.
That's not bad. I mean, like,
It's not great, but I'd probably play him.
yeah, it seems fine. But now let's get to the rare.
Wait, there's 2 more cards.
Well,
One's
oh.
a basic, isn't it?
I don't know. It might. What? That's not.
Oh, this is the uncommon. Sorry.
That's another
Last
uncommon, so there's one
sorry.
more rare.
I thought we'd gone to 3. Jeez, Kathleen, learn to count.
Who
But anyhow, this is the Balduvian Frostwaker.
does not have the snow subtype.
Yeah, he's a human wizard. He's a 1/1 for 3. But for blue and a tap, target snowland becomes a 2/2 blue elemental creature with flying, and it's still a land. That seems like it could be good, and it seems like it could be useless.
It's not very good.
Yeah.
Like I tap this island, my other island becomes a 2/2, and
Yeah,
you
you're
shock
still
it, so
using
it's like-
2. You're still using 2 mana to get a 2/2, but you're using 2 mana to get a 2/2 that goes away,
Yeah.
right? Like because you're taking 2 of your lands out of commission.
noir.
I guess it lives through wrath.
All right, so we
but
gotta-
it doesn't.
The last card is blue. I
Come
peeked.
on. No way.
No way.
No,
There's no
no,
way.
it's not.
It won't happen. Nah.
Vexing Sphinx.
Oh.
Oh, a 4/4 for 3. Wow, that's awesome.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. So its downside is pretty intense, though. Cumulative upkeep of discard a card.
Ugh.
But when it's put into the graveyard from play, you can draw a card for each age counter on it.
That's
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a deck that wants to play that, like some sort of like dredgy, buggy kind of goofball deck that's just like, haha, throwing out cards is really good for me.
I mean, or
And then
anything that's
drawing-
using Delve.
Maybe.
I'm trying to segue into the main topic here.
Okay, fine. It's
Yes,
good for
that would be
Delve.
really
yes.
good in a Delve deck.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know what
absolutely.
says Delve in it?
Cons of Tarkir. Hey, that was pretty smooth. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, smooth like butter.
I know what I'm doing. All right.
So did you want me to talk about my...
Alex, go for
Because
it.
I need to explode.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Mardu represent. I'm actually kind of pumped about this set. It's been a while because like the last couple of Magic sets that came out, I was just like, eh. And this one I'm like, oh, sweet. Because I've always wanted Red, White, Black to be a thing. And now it has its own name and a bunch of cards that are sweet and actually playable. And like a mechanic in my clan that's really good. Like, I'm kind of all about Raid. It's Bloodthirst, only good.
Mm-hmm.
So the Raid mechanic, which is the mechanic of the Mardu clan, is you get a thing if you have attacked this turn. Not if you hit them. Not if you did damage. Just you turned a guy sideways, you trigger Raid.
I feel that the Mardu mechanic is like the most straightforward out of all of the mechanics. It's literally
It's so
turn
nice and
guys
simple.
sideways, get stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I mean, all of the mechanics are pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
very-
the Sultai is a little
It's very
complicated,
powerful and very intuitive and very simple.
Yeah.
And it's easy to, and I love it. And there's tons of cards. Like there's like, I can't remember the name of it. It's the Buddy Hawk Sparrow flying thing. It makes two of them.
Like,
Oh,
like,
oh,
it's
oh,
like
that guy.
Companion Rock or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's like 3 white.
Oh, I can see it on the screen. Paul, it's like on the
It's
bottom
like
in the
center,
middle.
Yeah, there you go. What's it called?
So Wingmate Rock.
Wingmate Rock. So
Thank
this
you.
is in the same vein as something like Broodmate Dragon from like Alara, where you cast a guy that isn't especially exciting, but it comes with a friend,
Yeah.
which makes it exciting. So like, yeah, Broodmate Dragon was like 6 for 2 4/4s or something stupid like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 5 for a 3/4 that makes another 3/4 if you've raided this turn. And then when you attack with it, you gain a life for each attacking creature.
Oh man, how sweet would have like a blink effect been in this set?
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty spicy. Oh,
But
you play your
alas.
raid guy,
Yeah.
get your thing, and then blink it and raid again.
Yeah. But alas, I
I'll
don't
be
think
thinking
there are
about
any.
that. But yeah, like there's a couple other raid guys that I'm excited about. There's like a 2/1 that gets a +1/+1 counter if you raid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a 3/2 for 2.
There's the hand hate
With
guy.
the hand hate guy. It's like pitch a card. If you play this piker, if you raid it, he comes into play tapped, which sucks. But
Yeah.
I think he might be a zombie. Maybe not.
No, I think he's a human
Warrior. Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course the one I'm most excited about that's going to go straight into my mono black Highlander deck is oh shit, I can't remember his name. The
Well, it's
dude.
it's for the suicide black deck.
yeah, the
right?
the dual wielding shield guy.
Yeah. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 2/1 for a black,
Mhm.
and if you raid, you put him back into play from your graveyard.
Ooh.
I think he comes in tap, but it's just like, oh,
Blood-soaked champion.
blood-soaked champion. He's dual wielding shields, Cam.
Awesome.
He can't
Spike
block,
shields.
Can't block.
which is weird because he's got 2 shields.
But does he come into play tapped?
No.
No.
He just comes back.
So he's like
Uh,
kind of like Bloodghast.
Yeah. A little bit like Bloodghast. Like best friends with Bloodghast, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, super good friends with Bloodghast.
So yeah, you pay 2 to get him back.
Yeah, like play a land. If Bloodghast has haste, you fight
Seems
with it.
fine. Now, he is a rare, though. So, like, right, Paul?
Yeah.
So you, like, don't be, like, forming magical Christmas land Mardu dreams of, I just swing with this guy every turn and it doesn't even matter. I just pay to get him back and then I get a bonus on my raid card. It's going to be great. But Mardu, there also are a fair amount of, like, not a lot, but a few token generating cards. So, you can throw creatures away.
Yeah, not the least of which is Mardu Charm. I'm glad they did a cycle of charms. And they're all pretty good.
Yeah,
like Mardu Charm is it's Flame Slash as an instant, so 4 damage to a creature, or put 2 1/1 white soldiers into play,
raise the alarm.
and they gain haste, or not haste, first strike till end of turn.
Oh,
So it's like this sweet defensive combat trick,
yeah.
because you're like fight and you're like first strike guys. And then the third one is like it's instant speed Thoughtseize.
Right.
So for 3 mana is not incredible, but
no,
it's
but
just
like
like it's
instant speed
flexible.
hand hate is something that
It's like
Wizards
draw
have stayed
step,
away from.
Mardu Charm, eat
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Just like, oh, feels bad, man. So
hitting on your draw step.
I'm stoked about that.
Absolutely.
But-
No,
and-
the set seems sweet so far. I'm really
It is.
I'm really jazzed about it.
Alrighty. So those are your pick cards, right, Alex? All right. So Cam, what are you excited to see?
Well, actually, you would think with a blue and red wedge, or the Angel Fire, or the Team America, or Patriot Wedge, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
in the
Jeskai
set-
now.
Yeah, now it has a name. Now it's Jeskai, and blue and red is totally my jam. And you'd think I would be totally excited about that, but they just like play a bunch of guys and turn them sideways and like play cards, and that's not quite what I'm into in this block, because this block has one of my a mechanic I really enjoy coming back, which is Delve. It's a Graveyard Matters mechanic. You exile cards from your graveyard, and every card you exile in that way reduces the casting cost of a Delve card by colorless mana. So, I mean, this is a really kind of interesting mechanic. It does all kinds of, like, sometimes closet case things, like it's like the high natural casting cost of the cards gets around decks like Miracles in Legacy, right?
It's like, do you have a 9-drop? Didn't
Yeah.
think so.
No,
Idiot.
quite. Which would totally be a play that would always happen.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be so good. You're going to crush Miracles
oh, absolutely.
with these apes.
Yep. Which brings us around to like some of the cards that I want to talk about, and I've tried to limit myself to, like, since this is a limited podcast in a lot of respects, or at least I'm going to be playing a lot of limited in this set rather than constructed. I'm trying to limit myself to common or uncommon cards, and the 3 I want to talk about are Taigen Scheming, which is a common sorcery for 1 and a blue. And what you do with it is you look at the top 5 cards of your library, and you can put any number of them into your graveyard.
Paul, it's a Sultai card. Paul is, I can see him.
Oh, yes. There you go. So the Sultai Brood. You look at the top 5 cards of your library, put any number of them into your graveyard, and all the rest you put on top of your library in any order.
Oh,
So
man.
this seems like just an improvement on Scry for me.
In
because
some
you get-
ways, it kind of is, because then
yeah,
you get to...
I mean, it's not a strict improvement.
no, but you get, the rejected cards can also become assets instead of just
Yeah.
being, like, shipped to the bottom.
Exactly. So you, like, do this on turn 2. You suddenly have... Say you bin the 5 cards. You're just like, later. You throw 5 in your bin. You've also got Taigen Scheming in your bin. So now you can delve for 6 on turn 3.
And there's lots of stuff that you can do on turn 3 if you can delve for 6. Like, you can play a Necropolis Fiend.
Yeah, you can play a Necropolis Fiend on turn 3, presuming you've gotten, like, perfect mana. Or I think far easier to do is, because they're also common, are Hooting Mandrills. Who are
Just drill into the graveyard.
Yeah, for 5 and a green at common. They are a ape that are 4/4 with trample, but they have delve.
They
So-
seem really good.
They seem actually like a dark horse card in this format, because
Like,
like,
I can see a
getting
lot
a
of people getting drilled out.
yeah, oh, absolutely, just get drilled,
Get drilled.
right? But like a 4/4 on turn 2, maybe.
I mean,
or
that's
happen.
like turn
Well,
turn
not
2
3.
in constructed format, turn 3 in limited.
I mean,
Is
if
like
everything's
usually what
perfect.
you get a Goyf for, right?
Like, these seem really good. Now, my only
Like,
concern is, like, this seems fantastic for any Sultai players, but my only concern is in a draft, is just anyone in green going to try to nab these because they're good?
Well, I think so. I mean, they're okay in other green decks. I mean, like, maybe a deck that isn't built around a graveyard strategy might be able to delve them for 1 or 2 or 3.
Seems less
And
good if
the-
you're not throwing a lot of stuff away.
Well-
yeah, exactly. I don't think they're a high pick for the other green decks.
Well, I feel that in
I-
the other, like, I feel it. Sorry, I have to cut you off, but I feel in Teamer, because they do meet the ferociousness
Yeah,
trigger of having
exactly.
4 power. Maybe they're a 4/4.
Synergy.
They're a 4/4 for trample. Maybe with 5. Maybe for 5 if you're in Teamer. That's good.
Yeah,
That's fine.
But by the same token, like, you can also pick up as a Sultai player, or whatever color combination you're playing, you can also pick up cards that also exploit that mechanic, because now you do have Ferocious activated. So that brings us to the third card I wanted to talk about, which is Stubborn Denial, which is at uncommon, but
What color is it?
it is a 1 mana blue card.
And
1 blue mana
is
in
it-
Teamer.
in Teamer. All right.
And what it does is it is for 1 blue mana, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1 colorless. However, it also has Ferocious, and its Ferocious text is, if you have Ferocious online, i.e. you have a creature with power 4 or greater, counter that spell instead.
Doink.
So it's a negate for 1 blue if you have Ferocious online, which means it's not like magical Christmas land to be able to go like Tigan Scheming into Hooting Mandrills on turn 3 while keeping up Stubborn Denial in order to blank removal. And then you've got like this 4/4 on turn 3 with Trample, which is going to eat your opponent's creatures, likely, and you've still got like things in your bin so you can continue to delve. That being said, I don't think delve is probably going to be a thing where you have too many delve cards in your draft deck.
No.
Just because they're all competing for the same resource, which is very finite. But I think like that feels like a pretty doable play. I don't think that's totally magical Christmas land.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't. Also, you keep in mind you don't really want to like be like, yeah, delve all day.
Yeah, no, because like there are bad delve cards.
Well, and also you have to be aware that you were playing a 40 card deck,
Yeah,
and
I think it'll be deceptively easy for a Sultai deck to just be like, all right, I've populated my graveyard, I've got like all these delve cards, and I'm on a 3-turn clock all of a sudden.
Yeah, or
right?
like
because I only have that many cards left in my library.
yeah, Sultai cards definitely seem to be like power and toughness wise. Like there's that 2/8 for 5. They definitely seem designed to sort of go long, and I think
Yeah.
that's for draft. I think you want to delve a little bit, but you want to pick your delve targets carefully
Yeah.
when you're playing Sultai, and not just assume it's free shit.
Yeah, I'm not keen to delve for some of the effects. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I have 3 things, I was like, this is why I was hedging my wording on what I want to talk about. I have some cards that you should probably not be excited to see in Cons of Tarkir because I am a negative person. We're just
Negative Nelly.
I am. But the first card, it's a black card. It is a Sultai card for Paul's reference here. It is Dead Drop. Dead Drop is quite interesting. It is target player. It's a sorcery. Paul, you just scroll past it, go back up. It's on the top right.
With the 2-mans.
The two
mans that are about to
All right,
have
so
a problem.
This card is a sorcery. It's target player sacrifices 2 creatures.
Ouch.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, you can get around hexproof.
I mean, like Barter in Blood was a card that you would play even though you had to set
It makes both players like
creatures.
Yeah,
that affect's crazy good.
Yeah, no, that's good. Sorcery is not as good. I'd prefer it to be instant. And now this card also has Delve, which makes me excited. But it costs 10.
Yeah.
1 black and 9. There
Yeesh.
are so many better things that you can do with Delve mana than 9. And the problem being, it is going to take at least a few turns to get 9 things into your bin, even if you are aggressively throwing shit in there with the cards that Cam was talking about. And at that point, what are you getting rid of? 2 irrelevant creatures?
Yeah,
Like-
do they just sack 2 goblins?
Yeah, if you're playing against Jeskai, it's probably better Jeskai and Teamer because they don't have token generation, but I would not want to run this card against a Mardu or an Abzan heavy deck because they have a lot of token
Yeah,
generation.
you go this. I'm like Mardu Charm. Sack these 2 soldiers.
Exactly,
Yeah, and you're
right?
just like, oh, well, I blew away like my entire graveyard and like I'm down a card and
I still
I'm
think
still
that
getting in
in
the face.
some games this is going to be the most savage blowout when
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got like 2 tanks and like you're just like derp.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. There are games where this is going to be good, but I think this is a sideboard card. I think
Yeah.
you look at what strategy your opponent's doing, and you're like, oh, they're like all in on a couple creatures. Like that is how their deck is decided to run. Do it, use it, blow them out. But just don't bring this card in, because there is like the chances of you getting this for like, God, even like maybe you pay 6 for this.
Yeah, like how deep are you delving before you feel good about this effect? Like 5, 4,
and then
3?
That's a lot of resources that you might have already used to cast Hooting Mandrills or other better delve cards, like the just straight removal delve card. Anyhow,
Or like, yeah, empty the pits.
yeah,
At Mythic.
yeah,
in
and,
Magical
well,
Christmas Land.
empty the pits. But like, there's the demon, the Necropolis Fiend. That's really good. But the point being, like, this card's not necessarily like the effect is powerful, but it's not necessarily what you want to be using your mana or your delving triggers for. And like, there is no way you'll ever hardcast this. Like, you might like, and by the time, I just feel that it's costed so high that by the time you go to do this, unless you're playing against a really specific deck, it's a complete waste of your time. They sack 2 creatures that have been long since been irrelevant in the fight, and you're no more ahead. You've just emptied a lot of resources.
Can I just say Flavor Win?
Oh, Flavor Win, amazing.
It's like
Yeah.
Dead Drop is a, what is it, Sultai expression to mean fed to the crocodiles?
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Like, yeah, I think the cards you want to be delving are the ones that you're already comfortable paying retail for.
So, speaking of bad cards, my next card is a green card. It's the Kin Tree Warden. I think it's a teamer card, or it might just be a straight green card, actually. And it has Morph. But I'm just going to wait till Paul pulls it up on the screen here, and I'm going to get him to read it, because I just want to make sure I'm right on the exact wording. But I read this card, and I was like, oh. No, Kin Tree Warden. I can see it? K-I-N. All right. Oh, it's an Abzan card. Go ahead, Paul.
All right, so the Kin Tree Warden is 1 green for a 1/1. It is a creature human warrior, and it is 2 colorless to regenerate the Kin Tree Warden, and it has Morph 1. Very boring.
Okay, so why is this card bad? Well, warrior is a kind of a relevant subtype, somewhat. But okay, so you play it as a 2/2 for 3. But usually with Morph, the reason why you want to play a Morph card is because you get some effect when it's turned up, or it lets you take a creature that would otherwise be expensive and sort of put it on layaway, because the Morph cost is like you play it as a face down card, and then you pay it and then you pay to morph it, and overall that's more expensive than paying to like just cast it normally. But you get kind of like, you can pay some now and some later. So if you only have 5 mana, you can still play your 6 drop, right?
Morph line of credit.
Yeah, the Morph line of credit.
Well, like 3 mana than 5 mana is easier to hit than 6.
Exactly. So, but the issue with Morph here is that, okay, so you're morphing it into a 1/1, which is bad. Like, you never want to play a 1/1. Like, it's pretty irrelevant. And you have the ability to regenerate your 1/1 for 2. I feel that there's just way better things you could be spending mana on than a 1/1 that can, I guess, chump and be regenerated. Like, it's not bad.
Haha, fooled you. I blocked.
And then regenerate. Like, you're still in it. You're paying 3 mana to regenerate a 1/1. And I guess if you need a chump blocker all day, but I just don't see, like, there's so many better things you could be doing.
Maybe this guy's really good in the morph shell game bluff contest.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's like, oh, could it be this? Could it be this? We don't know.
Yeah.
Are there cards that care whether you morph something?
Not
I don't
yet.
think so.
I could see that being a mechanic.
I mean,
It's
maybe
like if
he
you
gets
morph
better.
something this turn, do a thing.
But there's cheaper morph cards. There's cards that you can morph just by revealing a card from your hand.
Yarp.
Right? It's just like, I don't know. Like, this just seems not great. And then the last card I want to talk about that's not great,
I
and you
heard
should
about
probably
this
stay
one.
away from it in draft, is... and then, except for extremely specific circumstances, honestly, this gets a 10 out of 10 for a flavor and about a 0 out of 10 for playability. It's an artifact. I'm sure we've all heard of it. It's Ugin's Nexus. I'll wait for Paul to bring it up on the screen, and then he can read it out for us. It being a new set, we don't have the cards
They
to look at.
revealed this card, and I think people laughed out loud at it.
Well, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously sort of for possibly future use,
Yeah.
or for something like, I feel like there's more of a story behind this card than we are currently seeing. Anyway, Ugin's Nexus. It's 5 colorless for a legendary artifact. If a player would begin an extra turn, that player skips that turn instead. If Ugin's Nexus would be put into a graveyard from the battlefield, instead exile it and take an extra turn after this one.
Oh, it exiles it. See, because like I heard about this card and I thought maybe you get some sort of like sweet infinite turns lock with like Academy Ruins, but if it exiles itself, then it's like, oh, no, that's kind of bad.
If you have a way to sack a artifact, then it's 5 mana, take an extra turn, which doesn't seem that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
so flavor-wise, this card is basically the anti-Emrakul card. Like, you know, Emrakul comes in, he destroys a bunch of stuff, or you get an extra turn, and he destroys a bunch of stuff because he has Annihilator like 5 or something.
Yeah, Annihilator 6.
Annihilator 6.
Yeah, just so you guys, if you don't remember, Ugin is one of the guys who was originally involved in sealing the Eldrazi away on Zendikar.
Yeah. So basically, this is hilarious sideboard tech for anybody who's running, an Emrakul.
Like, maybe you side this in against Sneak and Show.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah,
probably there's better things you could side in, like, I don't know.
Archon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when not Vindicate Archon. Ashen Rider.
Because
like, peekaboo, you're dead.
I mean, if you do have ways to destroy an artifact, I mean, basically you do get to take an extra turn for 5 and sack an artifact, which is pretty sweet. I mean,
it's kind of cute, right? Like, Emrakul comes into play, it eats its extra turn, and then when Emrakul does attack, you sack it to Annihilator, and you're like, oh, I get an extra turn, only there's still this Emrakul around.
Yeah, and I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Except Emrakul sideways, at least.
Yeah.
You're probably still dead.
Yep.
But the point being, like, flavor-wise, it's great. But I don't, like... Unless there's some way to get rid of an artifact in this set, which I haven't seen. I don't think there is. If there is, feel free to correct me. The full spoiler came out today, and you can put it in the comments and let me know on Twitter. But, like, I feel that there's a lot of good constructed use for this card and, like, silliness and stuff. But maybe stay away from it in draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyhow. I have to go start my show.
Yeah.
So I will bid you guys adieu for now.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you very much, Alex.
I will see you all next time.
Yeah.
Although I will say this for that card, I feel that this is the correct use for a mythic.
Absolutely.
For like mythic rarity, absolutely. Like this big, weird, unique area of the world that represents a dead ghost dragon planeswalker. That should be the kind of thing that you have at mythic.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Lotus Cobra.
Yeah.
Well, actually, on that note, the other card that references Ugin is the land Tomb of the Spirit Dragon.
Ooh. What do?
It's tap to add 1 colorless, or tap 2 in it and gain 1 life for each colorless creature you control.
Weird.
Morph
creatures are colorless.
Yeah.
So that possibly has some relevance. So artifacts and morph creatures.
But but this adds colorless mana, correct?
Yes.
I don't know if I want to play that in a 3-color set.
Yeah, in like a blocks or a wedge set.
Yeah.
It doesn't come in tapped. That's something.
Yeah, but I'm probably like, let's be honest here, like at best, your deck is 3 colors, so your mana, like there's a lot of mana fixing in this block. There's lands that common, uncommon, and rare. But like I am very hesitant to play a land that doesn't give me colored mana or doesn't let me pay to have color. I'd pay 2 to have colored mana or something like that, but like I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean like very specific use. I'm not taking that card in a draft unless it's like between that and a basic. Can
now,
I just say...
throw that in an artifact commander deck, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, if life gain is something you want to do in an artifact commander deck, I'm sure it is. I
mean, like, at least it works there.
Yeah, but, like, can we also just thank you, Wizards, for bringing back the Onslaught fetch lands?
Yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly the cost of getting into Legacy has been reduced significantly. I mean, it's still expensive, but the Onslaught fetches were a big part of it.
Well, you guys saw the video from the Cons of Tarkir party of just people screaming and going nuts.
Yeah.
Now, there had been some social lubrication at that point, so people had a few drinks, and they were primed for excitement.
Yep.
But I thought, like, there can't be that many Legacy players who are that happy about it.
Well, there might be some more now.
That's true.
the onslaught fetches were like
Very
I mean,
expensive.
like they're not as expensive as the duels, but I mean I think there are more decks that play the onslaught fetches than duels.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably wrong. Still, it was a very nice thing to get.
That was Alex stealing the microphone. I hope that did not cause any feedback for us.
I'm sure it was fine.
He's going to do a Let's Nope.
All right. Is there anything else that we want to talk about in this set?
Paul?
Like just having the spoilers come out today?
Well, I tried to review the spoilers as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's it for
Yeah.
Tap Tap Concede this week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will be back next week. Maybe not all of this specific combo, but Graham and James will be back.
Yeah.
And we hope everybody has a really good time at the Cons of Tarkir pre-release. And let us know how your pre-release went and what
Actually,
clan
the
you wanted to
pre-release
do
is next weekend.
next weekend.
Yeah.
So we will record one, but we won't have done the pre-release yet.
No.
We'll give you. We will keep you updated with pre-release
Yeah.
stories.
Maybe next week it'll be the A shift talking about the cards they're excited to play with.
Oh yeah, but hey, you know what? I'm okay with being on the B team.
Yeah.
At least I'm on a team. I was always picked
Exactly.
last for teams when I was in school.
Me too.
Aww.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.